"Yeah, he's so stupid." The statement was delivered on live television, without hesitation or qualification. It was not framed as humor or casual commentary. It carried a direct tone that immediately drew attention. When words like these go public, they don't stay entertainment. The reaction was immediate, as viewers recognized that this was not a routine segment. This wasn't just a joke, it triggered a national reaction. The intensity of the statement created a moment that extended beyond the broadcast itself. It raised immediate questions about intent and impact. Why did these celebrities speak this way? What made this moment different from typical late-night commentary? The shift in tone suggested a deeper level of concern. The discussion quickly moved from entertainment to something broader. The language used was direct and unfiltered. The reaction spread across multiple platforms. The moment gained traction because of its clarity. The absence of subtlety made it stand out. The message was not hidden behind metaphor. It was explicit. The response from audiences followed quickly. And what happened next turned a simple comment into a cultural flashpoint. The significance of the moment lies in its context. What began as entertainment evolved into political commentary. The boundaries between media and politics became less defined. This shift reflects a broader trend in public discourse. Conversations that once remained within political spaces are now part of mainstream entertainment. This wasn't isolated. It reflected a broader national mood. The overlap between culture and politics has increased in recent years. Public figures in entertainment now participate more actively in political discussions. This change has altered how audiences interpret televised content. Statements made on such platforms carry additional weight. The moment demonstrated how quickly commentary can move beyond its original context. It also showed how different audiences interpret the same message in distinct ways. The reaction was shaped by existing viewpoints. The impact extended beyond the broadcast itself. The individuals involved added credibility to the moment. Robert De Niro is recognized for his extensive career in film, known for portraying intense and complex characters. Jimmy Kimmel is known for his role in late-night television, where satire and commentary are central to his format. Their backgrounds differ significantly. De Niro's approach is often serious and direct. Kimmel's style relies on humor and relatability. Despite these differences, both presented a similar perspective. This alignment increased the impact of their statements. The contrast in delivery highlighted the consistency in their message. It suggested that the sentiment was not limited to a single style or platform, but De Niro's remarks were direct and unambiguous. He stated, "I'm going to say one thing. Trump." The statement removed any ambiguity about his focus. He did not use indirect language or rhetorical framing. His words were structured as a clear assertion. He described Trump using terms such as deeply insecure, malignant narcissist, and sociopath. These descriptions shifted the discussion from policy to personal characterization. The tone remained consistent throughout his remarks. There was no attempt to soften the language. This wasn't performance. It was raw expression. The audience reaction included both agreement and disagreement. Applause followed some statements, while others prompted visible discomfort. The division reflected differing perspectives among viewers. The direct nature of the remarks ensured that they could not be easily misinterpreted. As De Niro continued, his argument developed further. He moved from emotional expression to structured characterization. The use of specific terms indicated a deliberate choice of language. His statements reflected a perspective shared by certain segments of the public. The reaction in the audience demonstrated this alignment. Some viewers responded with approval, while others disagreed with the characterization. The moment highlighted how public statements can reinforce existing viewpoints. The language used contributed to the intensity of the discussion. The clarity of his remarks ensured that the message remained central to the conversation. Jimmy Kimmel approached the subject differently. His remarks incorporated humor while maintaining a critical perspective. He described Trump as an old-fashioned 80s movie-style bully. He expanded the analogy by stating that such a figure takes your lunch money. This comparison translated political criticism into a familiar concept. He also added a personal perspective, stating, "I don't like bullies." The combination of humor and personal opinion made the message accessible. The analogy simplified a complex topic into a relatable image. This approach allowed the message to reach a broader audience. The use of humor did not reduce the seriousness of the critique. Instead, it provided a different entry point for understanding. The effectiveness of Kimmel's analogy lies in its simplicity. The concept of a movie-style bully is widely understood. It conveys persistence, dominance, and imbalance in power. By using this analogy, he translated political behavior into a recognizable pattern. This made the critique easier to process. The combination of humor and explanation created a balanced approach. It allowed viewers to engage with the topic without requiring detailed political knowledge. The accessibility of the message contributed to its reach. It demonstrated how different communication styles can convey similar ideas. The convergence of these two voices created a unified narrative. Despite their different approaches, Both De Niro and Kimmel presented aligned perspectives. This wasn't coordinated, but it aligned. Their statements reinforced each other, increasing the overall impact. The alignment suggested that the message was not limited to a single platform. It reflected a broader cultural perspective. The combination of direct criticism and satirical analogy created a comprehensive narrative. This convergence amplified the discussion. It also contributed to the moment's significance. The situation evolved into a broader cultural moment. It extended beyond individual statements or segments. This became bigger than entertainment. The discussion moved into public discourse, where it was analyzed and debated. The intersection of entertainment and politics became more visible. Public figures from different industries contributed to the same conversation. This convergence highlighted the changing nature of media. The moment demonstrated how quickly content can influence public dialogue. It also showed how entertainment platforms can serve as spaces for political expression. Public reaction to the moment was divided. Supporters of Trump interpreted the remarks as evidence of bias within media and entertainment. This perspective reinforced their existing views. Critics viewed the statements as a form of accountability and an exercise of free speech. The same event produced different interpretations. The divergence reflected broader divisions within public opinion. The reaction was not uniform. It varied based on individual perspectives and prior beliefs. This ensured that the discussion remained active. The moment continued to generate responses across platforms. Trump's typical response pattern adds another dimension to the situation. He often addresses criticism by focusing on the individuals making the statements rather than the content itself. This approach shifts the narrative. It moves attention away from the original remarks and toward a broader debate about credibility and bias. By doing so, the discussion evolves into a different form. It becomes less about specific claims and more about the context in which they were made. This strategy influences how the public interprets the exchange. It also shapes the direction of subsequent discussions. The broader conflict reflects the relationship between media and politics. The involvement of celebrities in political discussions has become more common. This raises questions about influence and responsibility. Some view such involvement as a form of engagement, while others see it as bias. This is no longer just political, it's cultural. The debate extends beyond specific statements. It includes considerations about the role of public figures in shaping discourse. The moment illustrates how different sectors contribute to the same conversation. It highlights the complexity of modern media environments. The long-term impact of the moment is evident in its continued relevance. Clips from the exchange circulated widely online. Discussions continued across multiple platforms. The statements were referenced in later debates. Moments like this don't disappear. They remain part of ongoing conversations. The persistence of such moments demonstrates their significance. They influence how future events are interpreted. They also contribute to the evolving nature of public discourse. The interaction between celebrity voices, political figures, and media platforms defines the broader significance of the moment. It illustrates how communication has changed. Statements made in one context can quickly influence discussions in another. The alignment of different voices amplifies the message. The reaction from audiences ensures that the conversation continues. This moment shows how powerful words can be.